Hello everyone, welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 with your host, Hardtruck1. Hello everyone, welcome back to the farm. Basically I'm kinda really truthfully picking up where I basically left off last episode. Oh, and I do apologize, there is a week in between last episodes, and this episode that I did not get anything uploaded. I do apologize for that. Between being on the farm and, getting pulled in every direction and playing video games, not only by myself, but with, other friends and stuff online as well, and I kind of forgot to get a video recorded for last week. So, unfortunately, last week there is no episode. But there is one before that, and there is one this week, so yay, and there will be another one next week. So where did I start off from? Well, so anyway, if you don't know by now, I had to do a restart of the whole farm, so we're basically restarting from scratch. I've got grass this time instead of the alfalfa. The in-game balers, I think, do bale alfalfa, but I just decided not to deal with that right now. So we're running grass. We're still on the old farm, or we're still on the map. I don't remember what map this is. If I remember, there'll either be a link in the description or something. What are you doing, dude? You're going weird. So, anyway, yep. So I've got the swathers cutting 17. It finished doing 12. I finished baling field 11, and I was about ready to throw this guy on field 12 to start baling on his own while we pick up the bales. But Courseplay told me that this tractor right here is almost out of fuel. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab it right here. Hopefully it's got enough fuel to make it. We're gonna run it down to the farm and get some more fuel in it. That's what this tractor, and then we're gonna get this tractor back on that field. Then we're gonna come unload the semi. Now where did I see that? Diesel. This is over here. Is there a diesel thing over here? I don't think there's a diesel thing over here, so I guess, well, let's head down. Let me head down to the fuel station and see if I can get fueled up before this thing runs out of fuel. Ooh, that was pretty close. So, I hope everybody's looking forward to Farming Sim 22, because I am. I'm kind of excited to see. Did I just turned the wrong way? Oop. Hello, there's a train horn on this thing. No I didn't. It's right down here. Okay. Didn't think I went the wrong way, but didn't know for sure. Anyway, yeah, I kind of hope, I'm kind of hoping that the stuff that they are showing in the trailers and stuff is actually what the game is going to have, because, I'm still on the fence with a lot of stuff, and I kind of like some of the stuff that's coming out. It's like being able to actually have placeable fences where usually we don't really have placeable. We didn't have any of that stuff in the older one. That was really either that was basically modded in stuff that we had to get. So I'm kind of happy on that. Uh, there are a few things that I'm still not happy about. It still seems that combines are still treated like tractors, and that's kind of another one of my no-nos. Is it's like, no, if you're gonna model it, you model it correctly. Don't. And yes, I'm not being PG here, but don't half-ass it. I mean, if you're gonna represent the industry, then represent the industry correctly. Basically meaning that if you're gonna put a combine in that is front-wheel drive, but you are putting it in the game as a rear wheel or an all-wheel drive, I don't like that. And it's not just because I'm a farmer. It's misrepresentation is what it is. Is basically you are basically telling the people, the non-farmers, that when they buy the game and they're like, oh, this is cool, you're basically telling them that basically every single combine, even the small ones that don't even have a live axle in the rear, are all-wheel drive. So yeah, you're basically you're not representing the industry correctly if you keep doing this in all your games. So unfortunately, I mean, yes, I know Giant wants everything to be as authentic as possible. But if you're misrepresenting that's like taking this tractor. See, this tractor is really truthfully all-wheel drive. Okay? But that's like having the content creator take this tractor and just making the front wheels powered and the rear wheels do absolutely nothing. Not only is that a misrepresentation of the vehicle itself, but you're also telling the industry, you're also telling the newcomers to the farming industry that, well, that's what it is, and that's not. So that's my little gripe for this video. Now, on the positive side, I do like the fact that there is several things coming to the game that I really want to know how they're going to impact. And the first one is, as you can see, as a lot of it suggests, is there's gears in the game now, in the base game now. Now, whether or not, now the sad part is whether or not that is going to portray. Let's see, where's it unloading at? Oh, I just unloaded it on the truck. Let's get those put back on. Turn transport off. Unload. Oh, okay. Well, that's wicked. I've never had it that way. But that's actually kind of nice. Up, down, left, right. Cool. Alright, so I'm gonna unload there. Transfer back into that. I see our tractor is done. Ooh, luggy. Alright, we're gonna go over here. No, Where was I? What was I actually saying? Oh, the gears. So it's gonna be kind of interesting to see what the difference between how the differences between how um, Giant has implemented it and how mods implemented it. Okay, come on. Really? Bail not supported. What do you mean? What do you mean that bail's not supported? See, and another thing that they really need to do, and I didn't see that anywhere on the new one, is that it's like right now, I have the controls panel open, but there's no way for me to flip through if there's more controls past where it's at, it doesn't, I don't have a way, to get to those controls, so I don't know what is wrong. So, I'd love it if they'd have, like, you know, the N key or the delete key or something. One of these, a key that's not really truthfully used a whole lot. One of those keys, it would be nice to have it for this menu, this help menu, to be able to flip through all of the controls that are available to the vehicle and the machinery that I'm sitting in. Not just give me the first, 8 controls, and then you're left punching buttons that you have no idea. So, yeah, I mean, this is kind of an annoyance right now. And all it says is this bail is not supported. Okay, well, hopefully it's supported with the other part. I'm gonna have to... Yeah, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to switch to... There we go. Unfortunately, I may have to switch to that tractor. I may have to go grab a different tractor and hook up to that baler. And have that continue doing the bales. What are you doing, dude? And then, yeah, let's grab the New Holland here. Because that tractor is the only one that I have forks for, so we'll have to go grab it, unfortunately. Because I actually thought that I could pick those up with the trailer, but apparently not. So I'm gonna have to pick them up the old-fashioned way and set them on the trailer and fasten them up and everything. Yeah. So anyway, give us a minute. You know what? Maybe I'll do this. We'll just sit here and watch this guy for a minute. We'll let him go up and down, and I'll do what I need to do later. So, here's my thoughts on some of the stuff being portrayed. Oh, you know what? I know what he's doing. I forgot to... Okay. Stop driver. No, stop driver. You can... Where is it at? This is not it. There's a setting in here. You just gotta find it. That tells him that he can turn off. Yeah, turn on fields. You can deactivate that, dude. There you go. Now he should be able to turn around off the field. There he goes. Because with that on true, then he's always going to turn on the field instead of turning around off the field. And with this, since he's got enough on both sides of the field, he can now turn around off the field and everything. So anyway, so back to our little, I'm gonna call it a informal, or not an informal, but more of a just a chit chat about it. So in Farm Sim 22, there's a couple of things that I really truthfully like. Not sure how well they're going to be implemented. First and foremost, like I said, is the gears. I mean, with it them saying certain vehicles are going to have, you know, gears, and others are not going to have gears. It kind of makes me wonder, what do they mean? I mean, because truthfully, it's like this New Holland that I'm sitting on the tire right here with. There are several different combinations of this tractor out there. I mean, there's some with gears. You have a certain amount of gears, and then you have a certain amount of range gears, or ranges for those gears. You have one that, you know, you can go from 1 to 30 and then back to 1. And there's that type of gear ranging. There's ones that have what they call CVT, which is basically a continuous variable transmission. Yeah, so it makes me kind of wonder what they mean by certain vehicles are going to have certain things. It's like that old vehicle right there. That one's old enough. That one's probably 80s, 90s. That one's going to have, like the way I have it set up right now, it's going to have like 3 main gears, and then it's going to have a high and low gear. So your low gear, so you have like low 1, 2, 3 and high 1, 2, 3, and basically the 1, 2, 3, those gear ratios don't change. What changes is a gear in between the main power shaft and the gears that changes. You know, it has like it's like high is your road gear, so basically you're driving, let's say in high gear, 3rd gear, you're traveling maybe 20, 22 miles an hour is the top gear. But when you switch it into low, that same gear would almost be half or lower of what your high gear can go. So it's going to be interesting to see what that does. The other little thing that I was noticed that I liked is on the combines. Now this is a plus for the combines. Is the fact that the combines their heads can tilt just slightly, depending on what the terrain is. That has been a feature on combines since the 70s. So it's kind of nice now to have like uneven terrain now, and you're going along and like kind of an exaggeration, but one of your head sides is over there and one of your head sides is over here, and the combine drives through that, and the combine body leans because of that little dip, but your head is wide enough that it's touching on that side, so it just stays straight going through. That's going to make combining on hills kind of interesting because, or uneven terrain, because now you get to watch that head flex and everything. Um, another kind of nitpick I have with 22, just watching the trailers and stuff that's came out. I'm not thrilled with how they decided to do the trailers. And what I mean by that is that the very first trailer that came out, you have a man standing in a barn talking about, you know, um, heritage and things on the farm and everything, and you have a young kid that's out driving, you know, doing the stuff and everything and all that. That to me kind of doesn't. I don't like. I don't like the fact that they're trying to build a story into. It's basically like they've went and built a story into the game, but at the same time of doing that, they're putting too much effort into, you know, um, trying to get people excited for the game. I mean, you're going to have people that are going to be excited for the game, and you're going to have people that are going to take and say, you need to move on. But at the same time, at the same time of that, I mean, the trailer looks good. If you look past the weird storyline that they're trying to put into it, and just look at the features that are coming to it, I mean, the coolest feature that I know of is the coolest feature that's coming to the game is more crops. I mean, really, truthfully, this game needs more variety of crops. I mean, even though we have a large variety of crops already, because I can show you with this, and some of these are actually added in and everything. But at the same time, it the game really does need a more diversity. I mean, I would love not only vineyards, which are coming to the game, well, basically in the way of olives and grapes. Um, I would also like to see orchards, actual orchards come into the game, like apple orchards, oranges, um, pears. I mean, all those different tree varieties. I would love to see them come into the game. Um, Now we may get those along the way, but at the same time, I really do want. I would also like them to be not that Giant hasn't implemented them a lot of stuff good, but I'd like to see the actual proper care for them. And what I mean by that is like um you can have an apple orchard, um but you have to grass grows up around the bottom that you have to um mow away um to um keep your yield, not necessarily make a better yield, but to keep your yield, you have to um, spray for insects. You have to spray for, um, you know, beetles. Um, Maybe in certain seasons, with the thing of the cycles coming in, maybe with different cycles. Let's say you planted it in early spring, which means they're going to come out in late summer. But the problem is in late summer, that's when your flock of birds fly over, and so you get bird damage to them. If you plant them in late summer, you're going to get get them in, or in late spring. You're going to get them in early fall. Well, the problem with early fall is that's where most of your bugs are at. So it would be nice to know, it would be nice to see, orchards added in, but it would be kind of an interesting if they could adjust, make it in such a way that, certain things in certain times of year, is what, it's like the birds. The birds, you can't prevent that. Okay? Fall, you can by going in the middle of summer and spraying for insects. Um, and then you have it in such a way as like, okay, you plant them in early spring or early summer. You plant them in early summer, they'll be mature late fall. However, if you plant them too late in the summer, they're going to go into the winter and not die. It would also be nice to see varieties that are like a five or six cycle period. Meaning that year one, you'll get well. You could also do it in realistically. In year one, you won't get anything from the orchards because the trees are too young. They have to have a full cycle, they have to have a full year cycle to mature, and then your next year you'll start seeing your produce, and you, the events, like I said, the events could just be you know, a random chance that something will happen. In the second year, if you don't go in the summer and spray your crop, then in the fall you could potentially get an insect infestation and lose part of your crop. Same way with getting towards the end of summer, you have a random chance that a flock of birds lands in one of your tree orchards, and it does, some amount of damage. So it would be kind of, it would just, there's some few things in it that it would be an interesting for 22. Like I said, not that, Giant's gonna ever add anything like that, but I mean, we could hope. So, but anyway, so overall with 22, I like where it's going. I do like the amount of machinery and stuff. I mean, over 400 pieces of machinery, including tractors. That's huge. I mean, because out in the real world, I mean, we have literally thousands, thousands of machinery to choose from. It would be nice. It would be really nice if some of the implements that were in the game be a little more realistic to their real life counterparts. But I know that sometimes, it's basically game. It comes down to game physics to whether or not it can be added or not. But I mean, just saying, that that's something that would be cool to see. And the overall looking at the gameplay of it, it's really nice. It's really nice also to see that small bales are actually a base game thing right now. I see the physics on them are a little wonky. I mean, but that's to be expected from early gameplay. Hopefully that's ironed out and you don't go down you're baling a field of alfalfa, and next thing you know, your bale goes sailing over into town. But I mean, that's just me. So yeah, but overall, I'm looking forward overall, I am really truthfully looking forward to Farming Sim 22. And let's also take, and we can all, and I can only hope that, you know, maybe Giant is making a bigger effort to step forward. Um, oh, and one other thing that I want to add before we go off this rather lengthy conversation of FS Farming Sim 22 is that I really would like to also hopefully see that Giant is making an effort for older machines to be able to run this, like making it in such a way that that not only is it really optimized for the map and everything, but it also has the ease of being able to, you know, like control the graphics and stuff, because it's kind of like in this game. I mean, I don't know if you guys can see it, but uh, this computer that I'm on does not like really heavy graphics. Now, being that said, and yes, I am on a modded map, but the optimization of the game is what's making it in such a way that I can play this. Because 17, I mean, 17 was really hard to um to play on, because to play and record on for me, because like I said, I mean, looking at this, I mean, this is very little jittery. On Farming Sim 17, I noticed that when I looked out like this and go back and forth, it was really jittery. I mean, that was why most of the time in that one I had to look down. In this one, I could look forward a little bit more with the tractors. It's not 100% there, but at the same time, it's not completely trash too. I know I said trash on YouTube, but you know what? I hate to say it, but that's exactly it. All right. Well, with that, um, I'm going to quickly switch these off camera. I'm going to go get this one started on, or I'm going to go get the New Holland and the baler started on field 17. Probably just I'll drive the swather back to the farm. And yeah, and then maybe in the next episode we'll come back with the front loader attachment on, what is this thing? The case here. And we'll start picking up all these bales, which I was going to do in this episode, but then got off on talking about Farming Sim 22. So, anyway, with that, I'm Hard Truck 1. This is Farming Simulator 19, and I'll see you in the next one. Laters.